And it is the second day of the sentencing trial for the gunman who admitted to carrying out the school shooting in Parkland, Florida.
The trial will determine whether he will spend his life in prison or receive the death penalty. Nikolas Cruz pleaded guilty in October to 34 counts of murder and attempted murder. The case could last about 4 months, but it has already produced emotional testimony from former students and teachers reliving the massacre.
Everything was just happening very quick in my classroom. A student made sure the door was shut. We shut the lights off. My students went into corners. I had some with me behind my desk. Almost instantly, I called 911 just out of instinct. They couldn't hear me over the sound of the gunshots. It was so incredibly loud.
Let's bring in David Weinstein. He is a partner at Jones Walker and has more than 2 decades of experience as a state and federal prosecutor. David, welcome. Thanks for joining us. So earlier today, one of the former students described encountering the gunman in the hallway before the shooting started. Let's listen to some of that.
He was wearing a maroon shirt with a Jurors t-shirt with a backpack and a hat on, black pants. He had a rifle in his hands. I was stunned for 1 second, and he said to me, "Get out of here. Things are about to get bad."
So, David, what is your assessment of the start of the trial here and how the prosecution is approaching its task?
They've done a fantastic job of establishing to these jurors what the aggravating factors are that they have to consider in order to find that the death penalty is appropriate. From the start of opening arguments, the prosecutor, Michael Satz, laid out methodically what his presentation was going to be. And as emotional as things got yesterday with the witnesses who testified who were present in the courtroom, today's testimony was even more riveting, especially from the young man who we just heard from, who encountered someone who he described as a man in the stairwell with an AK-47. He was the first person to see Cruz before he started on his rampage. And although I wasn't in the courtroom, people have said you could see how that had an impact on the jurors and on the people in the gallery who are watching this case.
And so yesterday, the defense requested a mistrial, David, after prosecutors played a graphic video of the shooting and a relative of one of the victims shouted out for it to stop. The judge ultimately denied the motion for a mistrial, but do you believe that request had merit, or is the defense essentially preparing a case for an appeal?
I think they're preparing their case for an appeal. They're always doing that. That's why they have to object at certain points, and they have to do it when the incident occurs. The outburst was a small outburst. It was one that the judge had warned against having. And the judge herself said from where she was seated, she couldn't really hear what the person said or what the effect was on the jurors. And she made the right ruling at that point not to declare a mistrial. But we're going to see motions like this throughout the trial. They moved again today when a certain evidentiary piece was placed in that depicted the shooting that was going on. It was surveillance video. And so they will pepper their case through the state's case with these objections.
Well, as you know, David, the vote for the death penalty must be unanimous. We still have a long way to go. But based on your own experience as a prosecutor, how difficult will it be to convince the entire jury that, in fact, in this case, the death penalty is warranted?
I mean, I don't mean to sound callous in my answer about this, but you have 17 victims who were shot and killed by this defendant. That means that there are 17 times that the jurors are going to have to decide, do the aggravating factors outweigh the mitigating circumstances? And based simply on what we've seen so far, it seems that the prosecution has the task at hand taken care of, and they're going to be able to establish that. It's a very difficult decision for a juror to make. But given what they've presented so far and the fact that there are 17 opportunities for them to vote in favor of the death penalty, I think that in all likelihood, there will be at least one or more verdicts from this jury that support the imposition of the death penalty.
It's just a heartbreaking,
it really is.
Really just gut-wrenching situation. David Weinstein, thanks so much for sharing your insight with us. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.